From Cornwall to Birmingham and Johnston and Bexhill, here's Ruben Spire on the radio.
Hello to Edaisha Music. How are you today?
Hi, I'm great. Ruben, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for letting me interview today. So can you tell me what first got you into being a singer-songwriter?
Oh, well, it's a very long story, but trying to make it short, I guess you could say I started off very young when I loved to sing karaoke and got into a little bit of poetry. So that got me to kind of wrote maybe a song or two when I was young, but I didn't really pursue it very much then until a few years ago where I started working with Tez, my producer. He's with the ST Entertainment label in the UK. And just after debuting my first album, I started getting to write my own songs. And then now that I'm currently working on my second album, all the songs in there is all written by me. So it pretty much kind of I pretty much dove deeper into songwriting then because I've learned a lot from Tez with all this music stuff that we've been working together on.
So how did you know about Tez?
Actually, Tez was the one that found me. It was actually during COVID in the early 2021, and my roommate and we were doing karaoke live stream on a Facebook group page called The Live Bar, and that was actually based in the UK. And Tez was one of the members there. And when we first did our first live stream in that Facebook group page was when he reached out to me. He was very inspired from the song that I sang, When You Say Nothing at All by Alison Krauss. So that's how we first met.
So who inspired you to make music?
I want to say there's so many inspiration, but I want to say my husband, Jordy. We've gotten to, work together with music, whether it's trying to learn to play the guitar or just singing karaoke together and learning the fact that he wrote songs too. So that kind of like helped re-inspire me to write music again.
So can you tell me more about Mysterious Wonder?
Yes, that's actually was my very first single I released in 2021. And it was such a beautiful song that Tez wrote. He wrote the lyrics, he wrote the music, and the first time I heard Over to Me, it just made me feel so connected to it. And it's just basically, no matter what religion you are or who you go to, it's basically a reminder to let you know that no matter what storm you go through, there's always a rainbow at the end, and there's always, no matter what tunnel you go through, there's always a light at the end, and to just try not to give up on yourself and to keep staying strong.
So, can you tell me more about your first EP that you released called J.E. Wedding?
Yes. So it was two songs, my very first two songs that I wrote myself. And it was actually in dedication to my husband because we were engaged at the time. And I was just also inspired to write songs for my husband. And so I created those two songs, Love in Your Eyes and Walking in Paris, for him because it's just to show my love for him and kind of also is about how our relationship grew together. And then just like the love in your eyes, just looking at him, it makes me feel like so much love for him and from him. And Walking in Paris, it's also based on because we both love Europe. He's been to Europe more than I have, but I've never been in Paris, all honestly, but it's a place that I would love to go to and visit with him. and just knowing how beautiful it is, it just kind of makes me feel that way. So it's a great two songs that I first wrote.
So can you tell me more about the album that you released called Generating Life?
Oh yes, Generating Life. It's a really fun album. It's an AOR. It's kind of catered similar to like 80s rock. I love to sing 80s rock when I sing karaoke. And Tez basically wrote the album. He did include two of my songs, "Love in Your Eyes" and "Walking in Paris" in that album. But the rest of the album he wrote, and it's just a lot of fun songs and kind of like 80s. And I had a really good time with that album as my very first album. It wasn't quite the way how it wasn't quite the voice that I kind of wanted to project as an artist, but I loved that album was a great start for me.
So can you tell me more about playing the guitar? Because I know you play the guitar, don't you? You play the guitar, don't you? Can you tell me more about how long you've been playing the guitar for?
I honestly don't really play guitar. It's my husband that does. I've been kind of learning just a little bit, but I'm not very talented with it. But hopefully someday that I would become a little better at it.
So if you could open up a show to any artist, who would it be?
Oh, it would definitely have to be Evanescence. They were my first favorite band that growing up in high school. A whole lot of people, it seems to be that time of the generation with being so emotional and everything. And I just loved her songs. And Amy Lee is such a phenomenal singer. And actually, Evanescence is also another inspiration, one of my top inspiration of creating my second album called Resilient. So it's very emotional, and just hearing her songs, it kind of dug deep into the deepest part of the emotions that maybe most people don't really want to tackle into. But I feel like it's just a great way to kind of release those emotions in a way. So if I could, open up for any artist, it would definitely be Evanescence.
So can you tell me more about the Graveyard?
Ooh, the Graveyard. That is a really fun one too. So Tez did created the track, and I wrote the lyrics myself. And I kind of had an inspiration from Hocus Pocus movie. So just thinking about witches and in a way trying to save the children from these demons or monsters that's trying to lure the children into the graveyard. So it's kind of like a metaphor in a way. So it's a long song, but if you listen to the words, it kind of tells a story about these witches trying to save these children.
So you originally released Xmas Rockaway, but we'll chat about that towards the end. So can you tell me more about Sweet Rock?
Oh, yes. Sweet Rock has been such a great hit. I did release that after the Generating Life album. Again, Tez produced the track and I wrote the lyrics. And I wanted to create a song to kind of transition from the Generating Life album to my second album, Resilient, because the genre between the two is a bit different. So I wanted Tez to create a song that kind of helps transition from that album to my new one, just to show my audience where I'm heading to as an artist. Because once I found my voice and the genre that I want to go into more, I wanted a way my audience to kind of see where I'm going towards to. So Sweet Rock was a really fun one. It was a great hit when it was released, and it's a little it's more a little fun rock and a little maybe I don't know, not really techno-y, but it's a good one, and it's just a great transition for it.
So, can you tell me more about A Different Me?
A Different Me. So Different Me was my next one of my next single release, and that song was actually the first single from my upcoming album Resilient. It's just again part of the transition to show my audience where I'm going into, and A Different Me, it caters a little bit more on the the emotional side of me, and just showing them that this is something different from what I've sung before from the Generating Life album, and just to give them a feel of what my next album is going to be.
So, can you tell me more about Keeping It True?
Keep It True. It's actually a song that I released earlier this summer, and it was just a side project that I wanted to create for America. It's basically a patriotic American song that I wrote, and again Tez produced, and with a little help of my husband to trying to get the words right, and in hopes to inspire Americans to keep America America, and basically it's like keeping it red, white, and blue. So it's a good fun song.
So, can you tell me more about Cage?
Cage is another single release that is part of my upcoming album Resilient. Cage, there is a lot of backstory to that song. Basically, short story from a really bad relationship I was in many, many years ago, and just how he has made me feel like, I guess, trapped in a way and wanting to fly free. So it's a song that again touches the emotions that I didn't really want to dive into, but I know I have to find a way to release it. And so it's kind of like getting closure in a way. So that is another song that's part of my next album.
You did release a track about your dad, so can you tell me more about that?
Which one?
About your dad?
Oh, about my dad?
Yeah.
Well, he was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer back in 2021, early 2021, and with that also, The Mysterious Wonder was also the first song that I dedicated to him. And then currently I have another song that is going to be released very soon, and it's called I'm Not Done. And it's basically it's in dedication for all those, who have or had cancer or any life-threatening diseases. And this song, it kind of touches the emotional side of what they were going through from the moment they first found out of their diagnosis, and then it's also an inspiration song to stay strong and to not give up and to not let that disease or cancer to have power over them. It's just a way for them to show that you have the power to take care of your life and to do what you need to do to keep on going and stay strong and hopefully beat whatever that they are fighting.
So, can you tell me more about your remix version of Xmas Rockaway?
So the Christmas Rockaway song, I did first release it last year, last Christmas, and it was, I guess we kind of put it together in a way that it didn't give us enough time to really make it sound great as a new version would be. So we did a lot of fixing to the song, and it will be updated on Spotify, Apple Music, and other music platforms.
So, can you tell me what is the best advice you've been given so far in your career?
I've been giving a lot of advice, and I took it all, with appreciation to all those advices. The ones that stick out to me the most is just be sure that the final touch is the way you want it to be. Make sure that the final track is ready and it's the way how you want it to sound. Make sure you got everything. So, because once it's released, it's going to be out there for everyone to hear, and you want to make sure that's what you want your audience to hear. So, and I know Tez is going to be laughing at me because he knows that I am very particular or very picky at times. If I notice something that needs to be edited, I let him know, and there would be so many updates to the song because I wanted this to be changed or this to be adjusted or this part to be fixed because at the very end, I want the song to be, it's not going to be perfect probably, but it's going to be at least close to perfect. So then I know and feel comfortable that once it's out there, it's how I want it to sound and it's how I want people to listen to.
So, can you tell me more about being a signed singer-songwriter?
Well, it's been very great. I honestly never would have expected to be where I'm at now, honestly, because I haven't been really trained on singing or music very much, aside from singing karaoke since I was young. And I was mostly a dancer and a crafty person, and I worked in like accounting and now currently a flight attendant. So it hasn't really been much near or within the music industry until I met Tez. And since then, it has grown my passion for music and for songwriting more so for on songwriting. And it's been just a great journey of my life, and I am so grateful and blessed to be here where I'm at and to be able to write my own songs and music.
So, can you finally tell me what are your plans for next year?
So next year is going to be a busy year for me in my personal life. In terms of my music, I will definitely release my next album, Resilient. Originally, we were trying to target to release it this year, but life happened and I wasn't able to complete all the songs for the album, but we did get majority of it done. So hopefully we should release it before summer next year. I'm going to try to target spring, but again, life tends to happen, and so there are certain things that I have to make a priority over my music, but doesn't mean that I will not, stop music or give up music. So that is in the plans for 2024, and hopefully by December next year we might do like a small Christmas rock album to add to the Xmas Rockaway. And I do have another Christmas song that's going to be released soon. It's called Christmas Holiday, and so that's also a fun rock Christmas song.
So finally, can you tell my listeners where can I find you on your social media?
So Edaisha and then B as in Bravo. You can follow and like my page there, and I also you can also follow me on Instagram at Edaisha, Edaisha.
Thank you for letting me chat to you today.
Thank you so much, Ruben. It's really great talking with you and meeting you.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Same to you. Happy holidays.